Alright, so in the last video we went ahead and made a head with some eyes. Um, I'll probably go in later and just sort of continuously adjust these, like so that they sort of match some sort of reference. If you were wondering how I was able to just switch between models like that, I'm holding Alt and clicking. Alright, but for now, I mean, if you want to take it to this level, it's okay. But I'm going to do some more shaping later. Right now, we just really need an eyelid with some sort of area like that. I haven't even decided what the character is going to be. Maybe he'll be like a cowboy or something. I don't know. But again, we're just kind of riffing. So in this video, we're going to tackle the nose. And the way you do that is in this center area here with my Move Topo brush, I'm just going to click in here and hold Alt and just pull out a nose. And what essentially starts to happen is if I hit Shift and F here, you can see these faces get a little stretched. So what I like to do periodically is just go to geometry here and just hit Z remesh. And then you can see now it cleaned up that geometry for me and it actually created not so bad topology. So I'm going to hit Shift F again here. Pull this out a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Control D to divide this a bunch. And just as a reminder, another way of doing that is if you go to geometry here, you can also hit this divide button. Now I'm going to use one of my favorite brushes, which is Claybuildup. So I'm going to hit B for brush, C for clay, and then build up here. And I'm going to go inside and just holding Alt, I'm going to create a couple nostrils here. And what I want to do is I want to preserve that shape, but oftentimes when you go to Z remesh it, you sort of lose a little bit of that information. And I need it a little bit higher for my next step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control Z and undo that, and I'm going to use Dynamesh. And I'm going to Dynamesh at about 128. And what you'll notice is, notice it's at 128, but when I click Dynamesh, it says, would you like to freeze subdivisions? You never want to freeze subdivisions. Just hit no and let it do the Dynameshing stuff. And you can see here it created this really nice edge flow. So the next brush I'm going to do to use to create the nostrils is Trim Dynamic, or Damien Standard rather, sorry. So B, D for Damien, and then S to select the standard brush. And then with that, at the corner edge here, I'm just going to click and drag out a line up to the halfway point of the nostril, like that. Now you're probably like, oh wow, the nose is pretty wide, and it's going to do that. And what that is that's sort of a guide for us to shape this out. So now I'm going to hit B, M, and T for my Move Topological brush. And I'm just going to push this in now. And as I do that, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to push out the nostrils. Pull this up like this. And I'm going to be, I don't know. I'm thinking of a bigger nose just because I'm liking the idea that I had. Now notice that Dynamesh is on. If I hit Shift F, the geo is looking a little weird. So I'm going to hold Control again and just swipe out here. And what it does is it Dynameshes it one more time. See that? And what's really cool in 2018 is it adds geometry where you need it. See that? That's pretty nice. So I'm going to hit Shift F here. And I actually really like that nose. What I'm going to do, because this video is only 3 minutes in, is I'm just going to block out a mouth, and then in the next video we'll sculpt it. So the mouth is a muzzle where your teeth are sort of pushing out. So with my Move Topological brush, I'm just going to push out a, a muzzle. So I'm going to hold Control here so you can see it. That goes just slightly beyond my eye line, right? And notice that my eyes here match up with my nose. So let's deselect that. I'm going to pull that out a little bit. And actually, let's change our matte cap white to maybe a basic material. That'll help you guys see it in a different light. So it's either one. I like either basic material or matte cap white. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control S and save this. And then in the next video, we'll go ahead and sculpt out a mouth that's ready for animation.